Welcome to the B2B Breakthrough Podcast. I'm your host, Sierra Cristo. Everything is manufactured there and distributed from there.
From there, shipped all over.
Amazing. So how has that community building been on, a city by city basis? Like, is there like a Canadian pride behind the brand that has really helped to drive the momentum or anything?
Definitely that has helped. I think the strategy we took early on before we even went to physical retail was we went city by city. So we actually went to our local city, which is Montreal, and we basically built as much awareness that was relevant to that city.
Mhm.
So we would learn culture, we would learn different things that like we could talk about on social media. We would go down in the big park of the city and give out free samples and film that process. That way people knew and they felt that energy. Once we felt that we were ready to move on to the next city, we would move on to the next city. But it took time. We would build out the city. We would actually sell to local retail. We would build the D2C component. We'd work with creators in local cities to help spread the word. Until that was matured or ready, we would then go to the next city, do it at the next city, then the next city. And then it would take a lot of time. But at the end of the day, you build depth.
Mhm.
And then people start to know who you are. So again, very based on storytelling, but also being in the city physically. We would actually travel city by city and do things, events. We would show up at local things that were being, in the community and support that, sponsor them. And we'd also work with local creators around each city that we went to. And then now it's more nationwide and multiple countries that we sell into. So the marketing's a little bit different. But when we started, especially when we were D2C, we would literally hype up the city by working with local creators and being part of local events and stuff like that. And that actually worked because people would then see it and be like, I know that person talking about it. I see it here. I want to buy the product.
We were just talking about some of the now retail opportunities that you've had, and how has your D2C origins morphed over time to being more retail based, and has that loyal following of folks who felt so connected to you and still feel connected to you? How has that helped you land those opportunities?
100%. So the D2C is where we started,
Yeah.
and that's where we drove. We still drive almost 30% of our business through D2C, and it's never going to go away. And I think it might even go up even more over time. But we knew that from a logistics standpoint, we needed to get retail, and we need to start selling single products because in our D2C they're boxes, which is a higher ticket item. Even for value, it's still a higher ticket in terms of dollar value. So some people might just want to try one bar at a time. And logistically, it was too hard to do a D2C with one bar without losing tremendous amounts of capital. So we did that at the beginning with the samples, but then we stopped it after like 3 or 4 months once we started getting momentum. Now our D2C is for a lot of the loyal base that loves our midday squares.